Hello and welcome to another exciting Getting Projects Done with me, Chris, the Name Butcher. Different show. So, I am going to be continuing work today on my old talisman Barbarian from, this model is actually from the old Hero Quest, third edition. It's a plastic mini. It still has a little slotta in its feet here because it fits to a slotta base. Used to be the square bases or the round, well, now the round bases, but Talisman used to give you the little round bases because, I don't know, looks cool. Anyway, so I'm going to continue work on that. I haven't done any more on it since the last episode. Just been busy with other stuff, and so I'm going to continue work. And so I've been thinking about, in the last episode, I was, debating whether or not, excuse me, excuse me again. So I was debating whether or not how I was going to go about painting this guy. And I was thinking that, I mentioned in the last episode of staying with kind of a monochromatic kind of color scheme for this guy. And I thought that'd be just kind of fun and, something different. And so I think I'm going to stick with that, actually, that kind of, that motif across the model. So basically, because I'm going to stay within the realm of browns, because I'm going with, obviously brown tones. And so I'm going to do, basically I still have like the sword and scabbard to work on. He's got his little belt icon and he has his sword. And for the most part, I'm pretty happy with where everything else is on the model. Again, I'm not, building this up to like a really high standard or anything like that. I'm just, painting this guy for fun. And, I highly recommend anybody out there, paint a model for fun. I recently did a video on it. It hasn't gone public yet. Only the patrons had access to it right now. And this is kind of fitting within that realm of just doing something different, having a bit of fun, and, enjoying this hobby. And so that's really where we're at right now. And so basically, yeah, I'm going to stay within the realm of browns. Now, staying within the realm of brown, as far as like your color scheme is concerned, you actually have a lot of freedom. It's actually probably one of the better color schemes you could probably stick with as far as staying within the realm of a monochromatic type of scheme, because basically brown is all the colors combined into one, essentially, right? It's yellow, blue, and red. You mix those three colors, those three primary colors, you mix all three of those together and you get a shade of brown. And it's really fun. And so realistically, I can push it really kind of light, adding white. I can push it dark by adding black, right? Or we can actually play within the realm of brown because we can push more yellows, or we can push more blues, or we can push more reds, and any combination of that. And so again, like I said, this is actually pretty darn fun to stay within this realm of this color scheme. So the only thing that I was actually kind of pondering was the sword. The sword, staying within the realm of a brown, might be a bit of a challenge, but then it might actually give us something very interesting. And I'm thinking I'm probably just going to do a very simple, non-metallic metal type of vibe. I think today I'll probably get started on his buckle, on his little belt buckle, his WWE belt buckle thing going on. And I think I'm going to do that in kind of a gold, or non-metallic gold. And maybe I might do his scabbard, and yeah. But yeah, so I'm just going to get started on it, and I'm just going to start painting away, and this is the beginnings. Hopefully today we are done with this guy. The campaign will be coming up shortly enough, and so yeah. So let me see here. What do I got here? What do we got? I probably have a little bit of cleanup to do, actually, because I kind of was a little bit overzealous. You can see on the upper right there, got some brown. I kind of like that dark recessing in there. So, and of course, this was primed. What did I prime this? I primed this in white, so I should be fine in whatever colors I use. So I'm just going to use a little bit of, let's use a little bit of ceramite white. Ceramite, one of the two. That's what we're doing. And we're just going to continue on with this guy and get stuff happening. Yeah, nice. Usually with my ceramite white, I usually grab like one of the little stir brushes. You know, the Citadel has those little stir sticks. Oh, I left my water way the hell over here. Yeah, let's use this brush. Yeah, we're just cleaning up. Actually, you know what? We'll do a whole bunch of cleanup, actually. Just thin it down, just a bit of water. All right. And yeah, just making sure I'm still in frame here. And we're just picking out some of these little areas here. Just cleaning up ever so slightly. Kind of reinforcing the brighter white tones on the model as well. Yeah, we'll clean that up. Oh, shit. Hit that little area of the fur. Come on. Come out. Oh, we might have to come back in. See, I hit the little bit of fur there. I tried to grab a damp brush, tried to clean that off real fast, but it stayed. It stayed. Oh no. Whatever will I do? I'm not too worried about it. Again, I'm not, we're not painting this up to, super high standard. Let's get some of these other areas here, like his bracelet. Just kind of clean them up because we are going to be laying some brighter color down. And so, yeah. Just like so. Make sure that looks all right. That's a bit over here. I'm just trying to think of like where I'll be using darker tones, and so I'm just going to probably just leave some of those other areas. Scabbard. Scabbard's okay for the most part. I'm probably going to hit some of those other areas with some brighter tones. So yeah, I think we'll do a bit of non-metallic metal painting. Just a very fast shorthand method of doing it, I think, is what we'll do. Nothing too intense. We're not entering this into anything. But we'll make it look pretty just for our sakes. Yeah, I'm going to clean up that little bit of brown, or that little spot of white I hit. What the hell did I use last time? I think it was Gorgrunta, right? It was Gorgrunta fur. Shaky up. So yeah, we're going to use the contrast paint because that's what we had done last episode. You can see just below his belt buckle there, I hit it with a little bit of white. And because it's ceramite white and it's pretty strong in its pigment, yeah, it's on there. It's there. So we just grab a little bit of Gorgrunta and we'll clean that right up. Like so. There we go. Pretty as a picture. I'm almost tempted to come in with some like wildwood or something like that. I almost want to push that little band of little lighter tone there. I almost want to push that further down again. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do like kind of a bit of almost like black lining. We'll do that with a darker brown. What do we got here? Wildwood. Let's use some wildwood because it's wild and it's wood. Wildwood. I know some of you probably out there wondering, like, what the hell, man? Might as well just finish it all with giggity. Giggity. Wildwood. Giggity. You might hear a slight noise in the background. The family turned the dryer on just before I was going to do this. So, anyway. Let's grab a little bit of wildwood. You know what? And I am going to hit it just below the belt. Just create a little bit of a dark, dark shadow there. Just like so. Again, kind of like we're blacklining, but not. Because I seen this little spot over here by the boot, right on his knee here. So I want to get this spot as well. Yeah. Give it kind of that old school kind of look. And you know me, I'm all about old school. Yeah. Let's push some of these shadows around. Let's bully some of these shadows. We're going to bully them. You get back, shadow. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Now I kind of want to hit that bracelet on his hand. Yeah, we'll hit that bracelet. We'll do that now. Just grab a little amount. There's something in his hand here. Or is that his thumb? Shit, maybe that's his thumb. I didn't paint it because I didn't know what it was. Because again, these older sculpts have some really, really soft details. And so, yeah. There we go. Just a bit of that old school touch. There we go. Yeah, it's great. Once we get to the bracelet, we'll separate that bracelet as well. Because we're going to do that in a non-metallic type of metal. So far, we're happy with where he's at. As far as, you know, what's going on with him. Oh. Yeah, I think that's his thumb. I should probably paint that. What did I paint it? I don't remember what freaking colors I used. Oh, look at there's quite a bit of black or darker brown up behind his shoulder here. Right there. I didn't catch that before, but I'm catching it now. So we're going to come in with some Kislev flesh. Oh, old man Logan. Hello, Chris. How are you doing today? I'm doing okay. I'm fine. I'm having a bit of fun, doing a bit of painting, getting this Barbarian done. Might even show how I go about doing the base for this guy. I might even show that. I might save that for a video. I don't know. All depends on how fancy I want to get. But let's grab a little bit of this Kislev flesh. Just the dampness of the brush to thin it out ever so slightly. And we're going to assume that, see that little detail right by the belt? I didn't know what that was. It didn't look like a thumb, but now in hindsight, I think it is his thumb. So I should probably paint it as flesh for him. Because the detail goes all the way back. And I was like, what the frick is that detail? So, yeah. I've kind of muddled up some of the stuff. And actually, I might have to come in and blackline some of that. Maybe create a harsh shadow just to kind of hide that. But, yeah. Yeah. So I think, yeah, see, that looks a little bit more natural as his thumb, right? And so we are going to push. Let me make sure I'm in camera here. I'm going to push this back a bit. Yeah. Just a bit. It's just a little too intense. It's kind of meddling with our previous highlight. But that's okay. Again, like I said, we're not going for any kind of awards here. I can always come in, because it was what, Gilliman Blue I used? Yeah. So, it was Gilliman Blue, or not Gilliman Blue, fuck, I keep calling it Gilliman Blue. Gilliman Flesh, because it's the flesh of Gilliman. Gwillyman? Oh, I guess I can put the chat on. Some of you guys are talking now. There we go. J Plasma. Ooh, basing, did you say? Yeah, I was thinking about, maybe I'll show a video on how I base this guy. Or maybe I'll do it as part of, I don't know. It depends, I guess, if I finish this guy today. And, you know, doing the base, right? So we're going to grab a little bit of Gilliman. Grab our brush. You know what? I'm going to use just a little bit of thinning. Just to thin it down a hair or two. I'll just grab some water. Because I just want to tint it for the moment before actually committing to some serious color transition. Am I in frame? Yeah, I'm in frame. So I'm just going to push those shadows in the hand as well. Push that on there. Push a little bit of shadow there. A little bit more there. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. You can still see some of that darker brown there, but I'm okay with that. Let's wipe some of that off. Feather that out. Yeah, it's a little muddled, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to reestablish some of these shadow points and everything. Yeah, I'm going to have to come in with some darker brown there. So, give that a second to dry. Greenleaf Terrain. Sup, you damn painting slut. Painting slut. Painting slut. Damn. It's kind of harsh. Kind of harsh. Kind of judgy, actually. Sounds a little judgy. Yeah, I'm going to come in with a little bit more Kislev Flesh. Still sitting on my palette. Grab a little bit more. Thin it down to a glaze. A little thinner. Let's go a little thinner. There we go. That's the color we want right there. Oh. Mix it into some Gilliman. And let's hit this area. Oh, there's a chunk of something in there. Where'd it go? Oh, maybe it was on my brush. Frame here. It's a little better. It's kind of a little tide mark going on his shoulder. Give that a moment to dry. Then, let's see here. Where are we at here? Greenleaf Terrain. Haha, I'm sorry. LOL. I started my day off with some pot called Tsunami. Wow, Tsunami. Tsunami. So, yeah, see, I don't really start my day off with pot, because, get shit done first, then kick back, and, enjoy the rest of my evening. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Greenleaf. You've seen my work. All gets done with high. Yeah, sure. I mean, like, I personally, I can't function like that. If I smoke, yeah, I'm donezo. I'm chilled out. Like, I never understood. Like, even back in like my college days, I knew there was a couple kids. They would, smoke up before class and stuff. And I don't think that, being high, makes you creative. It helps, sure. But, no. Get a little bit more of that. Actually, that should be okay. Let's get rid of that tide mark. There's some more back here, for God's sakes. Man, I must have been pretty heavy-handed when I was initially doing this. There we go. I have to come in. What the hell did I highlight this with? Oh, I was making a mixture of pallid witch flesh, right? That's what I was doing? Yeah, that's what I was doing. I don't even know what I was doing. I do that sometimes. I kind of just, I wing it sometimes, right? I'm obviously, I'm making this shit up as I go, right? So I think that's kind of obvious to everybody at this point. Get a little more highlight on these hands here. Just a little bit more, just to establish this. Oh, dryer's done. I'm sure everybody heard that. Paint his fingers. Yeah, we're going to come in and we're going to hit that and just push that shadow back where his hand and belt meet, where the fur of his belt. Does that still look tide marky? It's not too bad. If I come in with a highlight, it should be okay then. Let's grab just a little bit more of our glaze. Yeah. We'll reglaze that out just a bit. Just a hair. Get rid of some of these high points here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, good enough. Fix that highlight on this chest. There's a dark point over here. Get this. It's a slippery slope when you start kind of like coming back at some areas. It's a very slippery slope. Kind of just creating a bit of muscle there in that rib area. I suppose I should do it over here too. Just create a little bit of detail where apparently none exists. You don't really see his ribs on this side. Yeah. See, I kind of created the impression that he's got ribs on that side. I don't know if you can see it that well, but anyway. Okay, yeah, let's let that dry. Holy crap. Some comments here. Jeez Louise, how much did I miss here? J Plasma, I cannot function after weed. It's great for anxiety and before I go to bed. Yes. At the end of the day, just chill out, right? Greenleaf Terrain, take the test high, get high grades. Yeah. J Plasma, I see no problems with that logic. Yeah, there's no problems. Old Man Logan, functioning right now, actually. Well, mostly functioning. Lucky, I work from home. Yeah. George Hintz, are doing these videos the daytime now? Are doing these videos during the daytime now? I'm doing them whenever. It's kind of random. I'll post whenever I'm going live. As far as these videos are concerned, yeah, if I'm going to do it at noon, I'd like to try and stick with Fridays at noon doing this. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of random because I might do it at night. I might do it on Thursdays. It all depends on like exactly what's going on as far as like what I'm doing, what I'm filming, and if I even feel like it, right? I mean, so far, people have seemed to enjoy these videos, and so, I'll keep doing them as long as people keep tuning in, really. What was I going to do? I forget now. Oh, I was going to go back in with some Gilliman, right? So that's all dry now? Yeah, that's mostly dry. That looks a lot better now on that shoulder. Doesn't look quite as wonky. Like a big heavy, like when you put just too much wash down and you get that real tide pool going on and just bah. George, sorry being since 3 a.m. Sorry since 3 a.m. You've been sorry since 3 a.m.? Why are you being sorry since 3 a.m.? Is the old lady got you in the doghouse? Is that what's going on? You've been sorry since 3 a.m.? All right. Let's come in here, create a little bit of shadow. A little bit there. Actually, yeah, because I'm going to deepen that up right in there. I'm going to make that all disappear. So we're going to come in with just a little more harder Gilliman. Right there. Let's do between his fingers. Like so. Just push that color. Actually, let's do some more in the pummel of his fist as well. Create just a little bit deeper shadows. Like, see, there's like so soft detail there. Again, it was the era, Kind of like that. See, there's the danger of coming back to some areas. It's like, oh, well, I can fix this while I'm doing it. Oh, I might as well fix this while I'm here. It's kind of like when you're working on stuff around the house. Oh, right, I can fix this. Oh, right, this needs fixing. At least for some of you domesticated fellas. Yeah, that's his thumb. That's definitely his thumb. It's definitely his thumb. So, that means that little spot there by the fur, I have to reestablish that. And that was done with... What was that done with? It wasn't Skeleton Horde. It wasn't Gore Grunta. It wasn't Snakebite. Skeleton Horde? Argyros Dunes, that's what it was. George, sorry, being up since 3 a.m. Why are you being sorry? Why are you sorry that you've been up since 3 a.m.? Go to bed. I'm not sure why you'd be sorry about being up since 3 a.m. Bad typing. Okay. Sure, man, sure. Yeah, we're just going to hit some Argyros Dune here just to kind of bring that color around over here. Oh, geez Louise. thing slipped in my hand and almost went crazy with the color. Yeah, we'll bring that around, reestablish some of that. Reestablish some of that. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So now it's kind of blended in properly. So next, we're going to come in with some, I guess we would probably do it with some Gore-Grunta and then maybe a little bit of Wildwood just to help separate that. Yeah, we'll just hit it with a little bit of Gore-Grunta. See, I don't really want to hit the, like the fur and where the skin meet. I really don't want to create too much separation there. But right where his hand and the fur kind of meet, I do want to create a bit more separation there. I want to create like a little bit darker shadow there just to kind of hide that softness of detail. Because there's a few points where I'm going to do that. I mean, like on the back of his boot here. See, I push that shadow a little further back just, you know, just because it's completely wide open in that space, right? So I just push that back, and you can see like where his scabbard comes back. I'm going to create more shadow there, you know, with where the cross guard of the sword comes back. I'm going to create more shadow there, just to help kind of separate out points, you know. So, yeah. And besides, everybody likes seeing his big old man nipples. Man nipples. All right. Enough goofing around. Let's get to work. Little bit of the Gore-Grunta. So, there. Yeah. Create just a little bit of separation here. Push that shadow back over here. Like so. Easy as that. Then we can come in with the Wildwood. Just like that. See how I did that? You see? Alright. Now we'll come out with some Wildwood. Yeah, I really need tunes playing. Unfortunately, though, if I had tunes playing, because I post these like, you know, a week later at YouTube, and so for anybody out there who's watching this on YouTube, yeah, I do this like a week beforehand. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is already a week past, and so yeah. Little bit of Wildwood for getting wild with your wood. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm in frame. I just want to make sure I just lay a little bit down here. Create a little bit of separation there. Create a little separation there. Actually, that ain't too horrible right there. Just come in, continue that shadow there. Now, there is a little spot right between, like you see the rib and the arm. See there's a little gap there? I'm going to hit that with some Wildwood. But unfortunately, I can't do it on camera because of that angle of how I have to hit that. So, well, maybe I can do it. Yeah. Anyway. Here's where you really want like a brush with some nice long bristles. This is really the point where you want that kind of thing. So I'm just going to come in very, very carefully and lay that there. Not too heavily. That's a little heavy on that. Yeah. It just creates a little shadow. It's not pure black, but it is a little heavy. I'm going to feather that out just a little bit here. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah, it's alright. Oops. Create a little bit darker spot here in the armpit. Just like so. I'm pretty happy with where that is. Let that dry. And we can get to work on doing some gold. I guess it wouldn't be gold, would it? Like for a barbarian, it'd be like more of a brass. Either way, to get us started for this, using just contrast paints, I'm going to get started with some Nazdrag Yellow. For Nazdragging. Need a sip of water. Sip of water because it's a little early in the day for alcohol. A little early. Who am I kidding? It's not that early. What time is it? 12:30. I could totally hit beers if I wanted to, I suppose. I'm just trying to think of how I want to work this. I am just going to do... Yeah, I'm going to do just a belt buckle and his bracelet first. Yeah, let's just do that first. So I'm going to grab a fairly generous amount onto the brush, and then I'm going to push the color upwards, but I want it to go around the design, so I'm going to let some of the color build up there. Now, the fun part about working with colors like this is that they're really, really thin, and so they don't... Yeah, I'm going to have to be quick about this because I want to pull some of this color off. It's a little heavy, so I'm going to work really fast here. And pull some of that off. We're going to push the color up as we're pulling off. Pulling it off. And yeah, I kind of want some of that on the bottom there as well. Just like so. So I just want the brightest points here. Just like so. There we go. Pulling that color. Build deeper color above, just like so. There, you can kind of see how that looks now. It's the beauty of contrast paints, man. Now, I mean, it's not just the domain of contrast paints to do this kind of thing, but it's really any kind of clear colors. So if you know how to work with clear colors, yeah, you can easily achieve. It's a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now, the tricky part with the bracelet is we're going to have just to do it, we're going to have to do it pretty sparingly. I want to hit a majority of the model, but not. I want the color to build in the recesses. We can pretty much just use it as is because I can always just build the highlight back up if I want. I just don't want to apply it too heavily, so I got too rich a brown going on. That's all. Again, like I said, we're just doing a kind of a fast and dirty kind of non-metallic gold on those details. But see, it already has that kind of gold impression, right? Again, it's always color placement in these regards. It's color placement. It's where color is. That's our entire world. And that's all that non-metallic metal relies on is just where you're putting the shadows, the highlights, all that jazz. Just like that. In fact, if I was really fast about it, I probably could have pulled some of those brighter tones off. But actually, I'm pretty happy with where that is right now. Oh, there's a little bit of color there needed, right closest to the skin. I just want a little bit deeper here. Yeah, right in there. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Coming over here. Too much. There we go. So there. Shit, you can almost leave it like that. That almost looks like, I mean, you could throw some abrupt highlights on it, and that would give it kind of, that non-metallic metal vibe. And that's all I'm going for is the impression of it. I'm not, And the thing is because we stayed with that Nasdrag yellow, that it already has quite a bit of that brown. But like I said earlier, like working within the monochromatic color scheme, staying within browns, it actually gives you a lot of leeway because you can push brown, brighter, darker, a little bit more blue, a little bit more red, a little bit more yellows, but it still feels like brown, So a lot of leeway. Because initially I was thinking of doing like his scabbard like a red, like a deep red. But I think now I'll stay with a brown and maybe push towards red, just for giggles, right? For gigglies. The gigglies. Oh, you guys are quiet. Since you guys are so damn quiet, I'm going to check my email while I wait for shit to dry. Oh, man. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. What was I going to grab next? Oh, right. So we went with Nasdrag yellow. Next, I think we hit it with a bit more Argyros Dune, or we could come in with Snakebite leather. I think what we'll do, basically, I think is how we're going to go about this plan, is we'll do that very kind of fast Nasdrag yellow, right? And we'll push the color upwards, so we're going for that non-metallic type of vibe. I think we'll come in with some Snakebite. Is there another brown? Is that all the browns? That's blue. That's turquoise. I got two more flesh tones. Fire Slayer and Dark Oath. I don't think we'll be using those at all. What's this one? Oh, Sigor Brown. I forgot all about Sigor Brown. This brown is like really dark. This is the darkest of browns. It's a really great color. Is that it for browns? Oh, what's this one? No, that's a green. That's a green. I need to organize my paints. I have to get a filing system. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll go with we could always go with Skeleton Horde. No, not Skeleton Horde. No, we'll go with Snakebite leather because it's got a really nice rich brown tone to it. We'll go with Snakebite leather. We'll push just some of those colors, try and feather out some of the things, because I do want to spend a bit of time like on that belt buckle. Like I think realistically I want to spend time on that belt buckle and his face. I'm not too worried about his bracelet because that we can just like once we throwing in some darker contrast into there and throwing some abrupt highlights, it'll give us roughly the look we're after, So yeah. But already, I mean, it's already really fun looking. It's kind of almost where I want it. So we will grab. Where's Snakebite leather? There it is. Yeah, we'll use some Snakebite leather. We could go with Argyros Dune. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to go with Argyros Dune. Because it's kind of Nasdrag yellow and Argyros Dune, and it's almost like Argyros Dune is like a much darker Nasdrag, Greenleaf. Chris, you finished your Elder Army yet? No, not even. Not even close. Not even close. I probably should have a damp brush ready just to pull off some of this color. Oh, I don't know if I want to push it all the way to Snakebite. Nah, screw it. We're going Snakebite. We made the call. Let's go with Snakebite. So, grab a little bit of Snakebite. Yeah. So, I'm just going to apply it like so. Push around. is a little heavy. It's a little bit heavy, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I think I will come in with some Argyros Dune. I think that's what we'll do. But I want to get a little bit more in this little wolfy face on his belt here. So with that, I'm going to grab a little bit of the color thinned out. Yeah. Something like that. We're going to use this in a thinned out fashion, and we're just going to push the color right from here. Just like so. And in fact, we'll push a little bit more there. I guess I should do the edges too. Yeah. Just create a little bit more separation. Just like that. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Yeah, I think we'll still come in with some Argyros. I don't know if it's necessary. With snakebite leather really thinned out, it kind of really helps. So with this thinned out bit of color, I'm going to come in and start working on the bracelet. And with that, we're going to come this way from the upper portion. Yeah, this is really thinned out, so it's not really changing too much. Concentrating more the deeper tone on the upper portion, as typical with, non-metallic metal theories. But I will create more separation down closer to the skin. And guys, okay. Grab some heavier snakebite leather. Push that. Yeah, really dark tone. Really rich. I should wait actually until this is dry before coming back in. And create a little bit more separation between the two. Like so. Create a little bit more there. Yeah, because it's still damp and drying. It's kind of pushing it around in areas I don't really want it to go. So, yeah. And actually, I'm going to close the bottle because I'm just using just a little splotch there. Greenleaf terrain. Bite that snake and do it. What? Disflux. Hey, Chris. Hey. And then an emoji with Duncan's face. I don't know. What does that mean? Oh, it's got like little arms. Like he's like, oh. I get it. I get it. I don't get it. Anyway, we're coming back in with some snake bite. And we're just going to hit that belt buckle some more. Just a bit over here. Over here, yeah. Try not to create too much contrast in there. But it's kind of unavoidable. And we're also going to push the shadow down here and underneath the buckle. Like so. Yeah. Kind of something like that. Actually, it's not too bad. I am mostly okay with that. Actually, I just want a little bit more right here. There we go. Just underneath the icon. Maybe a little more in the teeth. Like so. Huh? Yeah, that's not bad. You know what? I'm mostly happy with that. That in fact, I'm going to hit it with a light Screaming Skull? Yeah, we can use some Screaming Skull. Let's use a little bit of Screaming Skull. Disflux. It's a happy little Duncan emote. I guess GW still owns the rights to his likeness? No. Unless he signed off on it. I would assume they don't own his likeness. Because if they owned his likeness, then they could just plaster his face on all sorts of stuff. And, you know, no, that seems very unlikely. But yeah. And I mean, like, if, like, anything that was created with his likeness, if he wanted Games Workshop to tear it down, like, take it off, you know, the internet or whatever, I'm pretty sure, unless, of course, he signed something that said they can't. Yeah. But why would he? Why would he want to? All right, we're grabbing some Screaming Skull because this is a nice, light, you know, brownie white, right? Again, we're sticking with, you know, mostly monochromatic kind of scheme here. I mean, the yellows, like to my eye, that the belt and the bracelet do push quite a bit to yellow, but they're still pretty heavy in the brown side of things. So, you know, we're okay. We're okay. So, just going to grab some Screaming Skull. Disflux. Highly doubt Duncan would want anything removed. I'd imagine he's quite proud of what he did. I would assume so. Why not? Yeah. There's nothing. There's nothing. As far as I can tell, there's nothing that he would be you know, I was about to say unproud, not proud of. I can't imagine. But, you know, that's me. Because the kind of thing that where, if there was something there that he wasn't happy with, then it would be something conflicting with his artistic integrity, right? So, if there was something there that, you know, there was conflict with, you know, with his integrity, that, you know, he probably, yeah. That's entirely possible. If they do something, some sort of practice where he goes, oh no, that's not what I stand for, and then yeah, I could see him doing something like that. Actually, let's use a little bit of thinner just to thin that down, just so we maintain a bit of control here. I was going to use water, but I'll use a little bit of thinner, just a drop. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that should be plenty good. Too much on my brush. All right. So now we're going to create some highlights on that belt and the bracelet. That's still a little too much. That's a little chunk of something there. That's my imagination. So basically with our highlights, we're going to go on the underside. Just like so. Oh, you guys are probably not even seeing this. Yeah, push that out towards that jaw. Nose. Okay, get the top of the head. Top of that surface. And just do the edge of the belt. Just like that. Does that look a little bit more like a non-metallic metal surface on that belt? Just a little bit, eh? like I said, we're not going crazy here trying to, you know, do it, you know, too. I'm not going too try hard on this. Go. Yeah, do this side of the belt. See if I'm in frame. Just this little edge of the buckle. Tip of his ear. Oh, I hit a little too much in one area. Yeah, I hit too much. Oops. Oh well. And yeah, let's hit that space there. Like so. Get that jaw. Let's try and get these teeth. Make the teeth kind of glistening. Yeah. Something like that. It almost looks like the salamander symbol, but it's a wolf head. But again, it's soft details, so you know. Let's put a little spot highlight. Actually, we probably could come in with some white maybe. And just put a couple little spot highlights on stuff. Let's push that little highlight right there. You know what? We can probably fudge that and make that a big highlight. No, it's still too much. I was wrong. It's still too much. Yeah, I gotta push that back with some snake bite. I almost said sepia because essentially that's what snake bite leather is. It's kind of a sepia. But yeah, but that's mostly fun, right? Yeah, you know what? Let's come back in with some snake bite. Let's push that shadow back a bit, where we kind of made a bit of a boo-boo. A boo-boo. It's a lot of fuss, I know, for a model that, you know, I keep saying that we're not too concerned about, right? Yeah, it's a little too much there. And like that. Yeah. A little too much there. Like so. Let's push that. There. There, got our separation back a bit. Actually, let's push that shadow on the edge of the belt buckle there. Let's push this shadow right here. Make it nice and dark. Yeah. Give us a nice fine edge. Oh shit! Well, I gotta do it to the side too. It's always a balancing act. It's always a balancing act. It's like, oh, I did this, and then that looks pretty good, and then, oh shit, I gotta do another area here because now it looks better. It's one of these stupid things that I just, you know, you start kind of getting into something and you start painting and then you start doing this and that, and it's like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? All right, let's grab a little bit of white scar. Give this a quick little shake, and we're just going to put just a couple little spot highlights, just I think on the extremes of the belt buckle and probably his wolfy head. But yeah, we're just going to just put some bright little white, just little dots. Time we had here, 1 o'clock. Holy cramoles, I've already been painting an hour. That's as far as I've made it. Shit, I better step on the gas. Step on the gas, as it were. It's because I keep pushing these tiny little details. His belt buckle has taken, what, half an hour now? We spent half an hour on a belt buckle. But that's, like, people ask, you know, like, how do I become a better painter? And, you know, and that's the only difference. It's not the materials you have. It's not your brushes, although those materials do help. But it's the time you spend finessing and working and, pushing certain aspects of the model, and then always looking for, the balance and, shit like that. All right. We don't need very much white because we're not really using too much right now. We're not really thinning it down either, just really just the dampness of the brush. Just drawing it through my palette. And we're just going to put a couple little dots. I'm going to put a dot right here. Like so. And then let's put one. Let's get up in the mouth here. Like so. Oh shit, that's too much. And one right up on the end of his ear. Oh, maybe on the fur too. Yeah. Just like that. Good enough, I think. Is that good enough? Does that give the impression of a non-metallic metal surface? Kind of, right? A little bit. I mean, we can push the, like on that wolf, we can probably push some of the highlight just a little bit further. Actually, you know what? I want to do a little spot right in the eye. I want to bring that eye out. So we're just going to grab a little bit of our white. Just a little bit. Actually got quite a bit on my brush. And we're going to hit that little eye with the tiniest of dots. That's too much. But whatever. That's fine. Yeah. And I kind of want to hit this little spot right here. Push that highlight. Just like that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That is fine. We need to move on. So, I'm going to give that a moment. No pressing comments. Nothing? No? Guys are a quiet bunch. Must mean you guys are working on stuff. Is that what that means? If you guys are quiet, you guys are working on stuff? Let's pretend you are. Let's pretend. Let us pretend. I realize I just shook this Screaming Skull up, but I'm going to shake it up again. So I'm going to slap a little bit more into my palette. So we're going to work on the bracelet. So with the bracelet, I'm going to go with the undersides here. Because typically in a non-metallic metal fashion, it's the undersides that's brighter. When you get up to the higher points where it's kind of closer to the sky, it gets a little darker. Just like that. It's really just the impression of a non-metallic metal surface I'm going for. Do the back side here. The back side. Giggity. Yeah, let's go with. Yeah, let's just do this like this. I kind of want to come in and hit that again with the Nasdrag. Push the paleness just a little too far. It's okay though. Nasdrag yellow. Push that. Yeah. And on this side. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Just leaving a little bit brighter on the bottom portion there. And that is pretty much as far as I want to go with that. Other than maybe a couple little spot highlights here and there. Yeah. Actually, you know what? On that wolf icon on his belly, I think I want to hit that with a little bit more Nasdrag. I just want to push that yellow just a little further. Just grab a little bit of that. A little bit of water. Yeah. Just right here. Yeah. There we go. Much happier. Much happier. Okay. What was I doing? The bracelet. Oh yeah, spot highlight. Yeah, just kind of a couple tiny little spots here. Do I still have some Screaming Skull here? I do. I do. It's a little thin. Should work. So basically what we'll do is we'll just go like... Yeah. Over here. We're going to push this little highlight this way. Push this there. Just like so. Good enough. Actually, I pushed that highlight just a little too far. Damn it. back in with the Nasdreg. Around there. It's the other fun part of using these colors. You can keep pushing it because the colors are so thin bodied. You can keep pushing the colors back and forth without the really running the risk of, laying too much paint down. All right. Let's grab a little bit of Greenage Skull and just put a couple of spot highlights right on the top. Right on high points there. Just like, where am I here? Right here. There. There. Something along those lines right there. Oh, I gotta do it the other side too. So, yeah. Can even do this almost as an overbrushing. Just kind of one little dot there, dot there, dot there. Yeah. Just like that. Yep, mostly happy with that. That's fine. We're not going crazy over that. All right, so we did that kind of gold. Now, for the handle, do we want to do it as a gold? I guess we could do more yellowy gold, I suppose, right? More yellowy? Yellowy? Yeah. I guess we can just push it as the Nasdreg yellow. Just not as dark brown. Maybe push it just to Argyros Dune. Oh, excuse me. I do like it, like the more yellowy tone. Like, I'm mostly pleased with the belt buckle. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Yeah, let's do it. We'll do it like gold. But we'll do it like the belt buckle with more yellows apparent. Right? Right? Right. Sorry, I'm just double checking my handiwork here. I almost want to push a little bit more color into the hair too. Maybe. Maybe not. Nah, I don't know. See, that's one of the things that you can end up running into is overworking things. Yeah, we're going to start off with Nasdreg yellow, but we're going to thin it down just a little bit with some contrast medium and apply it to our surfaces. So we're just going to use a little bit of the contrast medium, a little bit of Nasdreg. We're going to mix those and in a broad fashion, apply them over the sword crossguard, the pommel of the sword, and also on the blade on his scabbard as well. So, clear some space off of my palette here. Do 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 do. Just to wake everybody up. I guess George took my advice and went to bed. Grab a little bit of yellow, the Nasdrag yellow, like so. Yep. Make sure it's thoroughly washed off. Let's grab some contrasty mediums. We're going to grab 2 heavy dollops. That's not heavy. It's 1. That's heavy. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. That's the amounts we're looking for. It's kind of a better than 1 to 1. It's more like 2 medium to 1 contrast. And that's really the kind of consistency we're looking for here. And let's apply it to our model. Grab a nice generous amount onto the brush. All right. Make sure I'm in frame. And let's just hit this guy. Yeah. See, that's the kind of yellow I'm looking for. It's not too heavy. And it's not too light. It is just right. Yeah, see how light that is? That's what we're looking for right there. But to keep with our monochromatic theme, at least we're going to try to, we are going to be using a lot of browns to shade this yellow. And it is a yellow. It's got a lot of brown to it already, but it's a yellow. As you can kind of see there. Yeah. I think we're going to go for very sharp, abrupt shadows for a lot of this. Would the handle be... I'm going to do a little skull first. I'll do a little skull. He's going to be nice and yellowy. Lay a little generous amount there. Okay. Cross guard. Yeah, see, there's so much space on the sculpted places that, you know, you kind of have to make up your own little details where things should go. It's a pretty common thing amongst these older GW sculpts. Am I still in frame here? No. Sorry if I fall out of frame, folks. It's just, you know, when you get into it, you get into it. And, you know, corn cares not from whence the blood flows. Blood for the blood god. And paint for the paint god. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Yeah. So Nasdrag yellow, thinned out, gives me a nice, rich, goldy yellow. Now that it's kind of drying in places, I can see that it's very, very bright. So we're going to let that settle a moment. And then we'll come back in, do another little layer, and push kind of that non-metallic metal vibe. Again, kind of like what we did with the belt buckle. The bracelet is a little bit harder just because of the shape, the angle, and everything like that. And again, the details are quite soft, so it's not, you know, terribly obvious on where, you know, shadow and highlight should be. So you kind of just play it by ear. And, you know, as long as you're pushing darker colors up, lighter colors down, highlights along edges, you pretty much have non-metallic metal. It's pretty straightforward. Just sit here. Just, you guys can listen to me. Mr. Miyagi my hands here. I don't know why I'm Mr. Miyagi my hands. I mean, it's not cold in here. It's actually pretty warm, but I'm not sweaty, but it's warm. What time we at here? Hour 20. It's 1:21 for time running, and it's 1:21 on the clock. Wow. I know, it's shocking how time works, right? Anyway, back at her. Should be plenty dry now. So let's start pushing some of them shadows again. Start with right on this facet. Again, pushing the darker tones upwards. The cross guard. There's a bit of area here where there was still a little bit of browns. I'm not too worried about it. It'll only help our cause, really. I'm going to push more color on the upper portion like that. On this part, yeah, we'll push it right up here. Right up at the high point here. And I guess right down here as well. Create that little bright point. Kind of like that. As you can kind of see, it already starts to take shape as far as, giving that impression of, light and dark, right? So here, we'll push that right up there. And again, it's always entirely, where you're pushing these shadowy points, right? It looks like I'm laying it on pretty heavily, which I kind of am, but I'm not. But I kind of am. Okay. Let's go there. Another thing, that cross guard. If I move a bit fast, I do apologize for anybody kind of following along, but I kind of want to quickly move with this color because it's starting to dry out. See on the scabbard there. It's a little heavy here. Draw some of the excess out. Push that again. So, yeah. Cool. Let's push this one again. Push this. Build that up right there, like so. That. I think I'm getting about as far as I can with the Naz drag as far as how deep the tone's going to go. So I think once this layer's dry, we're going to move on to a deeper tone. I think I'll go with Argyros this time, just so that, I'm not pushing the color too far gone. Like so. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this so far. This kind of getting stuff done. Let me know in the comments, or if you're attending live, or wherever the hell you're watching this from. I forgot to do this crossguard over here. Oh shit, did I do the inside part of the blade? No, I didn't. Frick. Alright. I'm going to do the inside part of the blade there where it comes close to the blade. Got to get inside here. So, we're just going to come in, lay it nice and heavy. Do it like that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get a nice little bit of separation there. Let's do it on this side. Yeah, there we go. Again, just getting a little bit more separation going on there. And yeah. Yeah, I'm mostly happy with that. Let that dry a moment. And I think what we'll do, so that we can kind of keep a nice brighter kind of brassy gold-like kind of look, is we'll push it to Argyros Dune and then do some very abrupt, harsh shadow lines of Snakebite. Just kind of like, just really contrasty kind of lines, I think. Anywho. Man, you guys are quiet. Not a peep. Everybody must be just deep within their whatever they're doing. It's really not going to take that much Argyros Dune, I think, to change the values. So I am not going to go too hog wild with this color. On that pummel part of the sword, I was actually thinking of doing kind of this, almost like, you know how like sections of pie, where you know it tapers in close to the center. I was thinking of doing that kind of highlighting, but again, I think I'm overthinking a lot of this shit, right? Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna thin this down ever so slightly. I think we'll just use a little bit of water just to thin this down as we apply it, and then yeah, because really what convinces the eye that we're looking at this non-metallic metal surface is you know, the upward shading and those edge highlights, right? So that's really where we're selling this effect, is in those edge highlights. So yeah, Argyros Dune for duning. Grab a little bit here. We'll slap it onto our palette. Let me find a spot here. Then we'll take a little drop of water, thin it down ever so slightly. Yeah, I'm happy with that right there. All right, it's probably a lot on my brush, but I should be able to move it around pretty fast. So, again, on the pummel, let's just start. Yeah, let's start right like here. Yeah. And on the cross guard, right around here. Actually, yeah, I'm digging this a lot now. Yeah. See that color's pushing. How we're pushing the color now. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah, we're getting very, very slight huddles. Wow. Highlights? What the fuck are huddles? We're getting very subtle here. Like that. Just on that cross guard. That part there. Make sure I'm in frame. Hit that one again, just because it dries really fast. Do the underside here. Like that. Yeah. Like I said before, contrast paints are a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Yeah, I'm digging that. All right. Am I out of Argyros? I am out of Argyros. Let's grab a little more. Grab just a little bit of water. Mix that in. Oh, that's not the freaking Argyros. That's the Argyros. I was grabbing from the wrong pile. I think that was the Nasdrag. There we go. Okay. Okay. On the scabbard. Not too horrible, eh? Push those highlights there. Let's get those. Let's take care of those right here. Just like that. Okay. Let's give this a moment to dry, and then we're going to come in with pure Argyros Dune. I'm going to shut the lid here a moment. Oh. Let you guys have a peek at where we're at for the moment. Yeah, see, it's not quite as gold as, say, the bracelet or the buckle, but it is a lot brighter, which is where I wanted it. Transition there on the pummel of the sword's a little bit abrupt, but it's okay. Oh, that's all right. Thankfully, my heat's on right now, so it's speeding up the drying process here. Plus, we're working in really thin layers anyway, so it's really not going to take that long to dry. Let's grab a little more Argyros Dune, and then we're going to push some of these more. These shadows. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that was rude of me. Again, just making sure see who's awake. So let's go with the crossguard here. Yeah, not horrible. Okay. Actually, I might push that one a little further on the. Maybe not. Let's do it. Yeah, like that. Nice and contrasty. Do that. Oop, got some on the blade here. Not that I'm terribly worried about that, but. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Scabbard. Scary Skullface. Oops. There we go. I am mostly happy with that. So now we can start doing some highlighting. And for that, we're going to go back to the Screaming Skull. Man, you guys are quiet. Time we're at almost 140. The Screamage Skull. Slip it right there. Just the dampness of the brush should be fine. Probably take us a few tries. Yeah. So let's go. Just like that. Let's put a little highlight down here. Let's do a little edging here. Do a little edging here. Okay. Just like that. Does that look like some gold? A little bit? Sorry, I'm trying to stay in frame here. Yeah, we'll probably come in with a little spot of white and just kind of pick that up. All right, come back on the other side here. I think my paint's drying up fast because the heat's on. Mind you, I didn't grab that much, but there we go. Okay, do this side. that edge. Just grab that edge. Just like so. Grab this edge. This edge. Here we go. Grab there. And for everybody at home watching, that's pretty much non-metallic metal. Like, non-metallic metal is not... It's not that complicated. Just gotta be very careful where you pick and lay your highlights and stuff, and you know. See? I may as well call this episode non-metallic metal, because it's all we're doing here. Now, mind you, this is not like, you know, the end-all be-all of, you know, non-metallic metalness. Is that a word? Metalness? But for a lot of people who, you know, are very interested in the technique or whatever it is, you know, that's really kind of an entry kind of guide into it. Like, you know, you can always push it, because as I've mentioned before in other videos and Weigh the Brush and such, you know, non-metallic metal is really about the ambient environment. So if there's trees, they would reflect, they would cast, you know, greens and blues, you know, all these different wavelengths onto the armor. Or surface, not just armor, but surface. Alright. Let's do the scabbarding. So let's do something like mind frame. Yeah. Let's do that. That. Let's do the upper portion here. Just like so. That edge. Do that. Yeah. It's really, really, you know, once you kind of get your head around where you're placing highlights and such, it's not that hard to really kind of get into. Some people want to make it seem more than it is. You can see on the cross guard of the scabbard there. Again, because the detail is so soft, I have to kind of make it up over here as where things are going. And like I said before, I'm probably just going to make up shadowy points in that area there, just kind of, you know, take care of that and kind of create some separation, and, you know, but yeah, that's it. It ain't rocket science, folks. It ain't rocket science. Just a little bit of practice. Time and practice, it's all it takes. In frame still. There we go. I do apologize if I fall out of frame a lot in this video. Just once I start getting into something, it's just, you know, it's kind of hard. And I think that is it for the cross guard. right? Sword, like I said, like this is not, you know, award-winning or anything like that. It's just a fast way of kind of getting that effect down. The more you practice it, you know, obviously the better you're going to be at in the future, right? So. What was I going to do next? Oh, white. Let's grab some white sky. We're just going to throw just the tiniest of dots down on some points. Really just the high points of where, you know, the imagined light sourcing is. Time we had here? 14 minutes left. Well, I mean, it's not a, you know, strict 14 minutes, but let's grab a little bit of white. Slappez-vous onto the palette. Grabby. And some of you may or may not notice, these are the brushes I use right here. And that's what I've been doing all my work with. I've been painting this model. Fine lines, base coating, is using this heavy metal standard brush. It's got nice long, the hairs don't look that great right now because I just ran it through, but yeah. Comes to a really nice fine point. It's got nice long bristles. It's really, really good. I don't know if you can buy these brushes anymore, but yeah. If you can find them in good condition or in pristine condition. Jimpa89. Thank you, Jimpa. You just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Thank you. What was I doing? Oh, right, white. So let's grab a little bit of white. Set it down, just a bit of the dampness of the brush. That's too much. Too much. Just grab a little bit onto a brush. Just the tiniest of dollops. And we are going to begin applying it onto the surface. Just dots. That's all we're doing is just dots. Just like so. There we go. So. Just like that. Probably hard to see, but yeah. Oh, I gotta do this side. Just like. Come on, little paint. Oh, screw you. Didn't want to come off. Again, I'm like right under my heater in my house. So, yeah, I'm starting to sweat a little bit now. I can feel perspiring. So we're just going to hit just on that other cross guard, just right there-ish. Just like that. Just the tiniest of dots. The tiniest of dots. Oh, I guess we can do one at the bottom here. Just one right at the base. Just there, like so. Yeah, right there. There we go. Bang. That's non-metallic metal. In the easiest of forms. Without, you know, getting too worked up about, you know, proper highlight placements and stuff. Oh, shit, too much there. Let's get that one. Cross guard, we'll just do just the tiniest of spots here. Yeah, the heater on my is like right over me, and it's drying it right as I'm working on stuff. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Let's grab a little more white. A little bit more white. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Should I frame here? Dot there. Dot there. Dot there. Oh, thank God. Shut off. I don't know if you can hear the heater, but there we go. There we go. And there we go. There. I'll probably end up messing that up when I do the inside of the scabbard there, but here we go. So that's non-metallic metal on the scabbard, on the sword, right? On his belt and his bracelet. That's as far as we got today. That's as far as we got. Good God. Time's 8. We got 8 minutes left. We probably can get into something else for 8 minutes. Oh, what shall we do? What shall we do? Start the sword. Paint the eyes. Paint his mouth. I got a feeling I'm going to do his face, but I'm going to do his face. But no, we'll save it. You know what? Let's do his scabbard. The scabbard shouldn't take long, and then we can run those, as I talked about earlier, we'll do those points in there where I'm going to fudge the shadows, and so just to create a bit of separation. But yeah, let's do the scabbard. Now the scabbard is, I want to stay monochromatic, so I want to stay within the realm of browns, and as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to stay kind of a red-brown. A red-brown. Red-brown is kind of a, Gore-Grunta kind of has a bit of that red tone to it. Maybe we just do it in the flesh. Right? We can do a flesh tone. Let's just do a flesh. I think Dark Oath is actually kind of a reddy tone. I think Dark Oath has a lot of red in it. Yeah. See the mid-tones in there, in the cap? Fire Slayer. Let me see Fire Slayer. Yeah, see Fire Slayer's got more of a darker brown to it. I think I'm gonna do it Dark Oath. I think I'll thin down. I'll thin down Dark Oath. Apply it in a thin coat, and then I'll build up. Although, mind you, though, we're not going for any kind of particular look here. I'm not even sure exactly. Maybe like leather. Some ASMR for y'all. So yeah, you know what? Or maybe we'll just do a straight up coat of it. And then we'll thin down. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I've got it. We'll lay a layer of this down. Not too heavily. But we'll lay a layer of this down. And then we'll take some thinned out Flesh Terror's Red. And apply a layer of that. Just to throw a bit of a red tone into it. A bit more red tone into it. So I'm just going to grab a fairly generous amount here. And apply it. Yeah, see? Oh, yeah. I'm digging it. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. I am okay with this tone. Yeah. It's kind of hard not to throw like a non-metallic metal effect as I was doing it earlier. But I'm trying not to. Screw off. Yeah. It's really kind of light. I like that tone, actually. So I'm going to let that dry a moment. We did not apply too heavily a layer. And where is my Flesh Terror's Red? Where is it? Wait. Flesh Terror's Red. We're going to take some of this Flesh Terror's Red and we're going to slap this on here. Yeah, now everything's taking a little bit to dry now. Still see it's kind of shiny there. just a bit. We're just gonna push it just a bit to the red side. We could do like a straight up mix. No, I'll thin the red down just a bit, and then I'll do another layer of dark oath. Or you know what? No, we'll do it that way. Yeah, we'll do it that way. All these different ideas keep going through my head as well. What way can we do this? Because again, I've been doing it mostly contrast, and I've just been, pushing it. And basically, because I started off with this model, I started off with a white prime. And I'm just using contrast, and I'm just basically pushing a lot of the color downwards, because obviously you're starting with white, and you can just push down with contrast. They're clear colors, so all you can do is just work that way, and you're left with brighter tones in behind, right? So yeah, this Flesh Tears Red is such a great color. Let's grab a little bit. We'll thin it down. Slap it onto the palette. Grab a bit of water. Fairly generous amount of water. And mix it in just a bit. It's probably a little too much, but we'll play with it. Yeah, it's probably a little too much, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's try it on the underside here, under the scabbard, and see how it looks. Oh no, that's all right. That is all right. All we're doing was just tinting. So we're just going to drag it across the surface and just tint or change the tone there. Yeah, see? That's all we're doing. Not too far, because I do want to keep that monochromatic kind of look that we built up here. Just like that. See how that looks? I don't know, it looks really cool. I like it. And so, yeah. And that is it, folks. That's all the red I wanted to throw on there. It almost like red leather. But I think that's it. That's as far as I want to go with that. I might do another dark oath just to push the shadow down a bit more. I don't know. I'm going to give that a couple seconds. I'm kind of liking where that is at the moment. It's almost like red leather, like worn red leather almost. Maybe let this dry here. Yeah, you can kind of see as I pull it back a bit, you can kind of see the tone again. I like that. It's just it doesn't look like the rest of the model where it's kind of these darker browns. It's got that more hint of red. It doesn't look like flesh quite so much. But yeah, man, do I even need to throw a highlight on that? It's got that nice bright edge underneath there. I might have to throw a little bit of more dark oath, I think. Nah, screw it. I'm going to leave it. 2 coats. That's it. 2 coats of that color. That's it. Now let's grab... what was I using before? Wild Rider? I think I'm going to use the Cygor Brown. Because the Cygor Brown's really, really dark. And I'm going to push... just push some of those areas, because you know how like the plastic molding, like a detail comes out and then it's like it's got this long run because of the way the mold process works back in the day anyway. I'm not going to use black because we don't want to push it that far. We're going to go with Cygor Brown because it's really, really dark, but it's really, really fantastic. Wildwood is a really great color, but this is even deeper. But we're going to give it a good shake because I think it does sediment, right? Does it do the sediment thing? I can't tell. It's so freaking dark. Anyway. 2 hours. So we're at the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to finish this. I'm just going to catch some of these areas, give the model one final look, and then I think, for the most part, this session is done. And once I do this shadowy stuff, there's really a couple things left. So kind of amazing, like really 2 hours, and I've only done a couple details. But when you really kind of get nitpicky about like details and such, models will take you a long time. And, just the nature of, pushing the paint job further, right? Like, are you doing just a bunch of Space Marines, get a base coated shade wash, and you're playing, right? Or, do you really want to push the look? Oh man, look how dark this color is. If you've not seen Cygor Brown, look at that. Like this color is dark. It's fantastic though. It's a fantastic color. All the brown. If you are still hemming and hawing about picking up contrast colors, start with the browns. Snakebite Leather, Argyros Dunes, Wildwood, and Cygor Brown. These colors are freaking fantastic. So anyway, we want this nice dark brown because I want to push the shadows. So like for example, see behind the boot here, I already pushed that shadow there a little further, but I'm going to push where that comes up to the scabbard. I want to create separation there so it doesn't look so wonky. For example, I'm going to push it like this, basically just draw the line and then just make this some kind of crazy shadow, just like that, just to try and hide that manufacturing error. Now again, this is the way it was way back in the day, so some of you might be going, well, what kind of crap is that? A little too much there. Just like that. See how now the scabbard doesn't feel like it's jutting back into his knee or whatever the hell it is. So I'm just going to push this a little further here. Just create a little bit more separation. Just like that. And see how it looks now like it's not so wonky looking. And that's it. And that's just fixing, fixing it, right? So we're just going to come in with some more. What's that? Thanks for the thing, Jimpa? Anyway, let's go back down here. Yeah. You know what? We'll use this to create all the shadow down here. Just to hide all that goofiness that's going on down here. But we'll use it in straight lines like so. Like so. Yeah, there. See how I create that shadow underneath? And I'm actually liking using the Cygor Brown in this regard because that is definitely helping. Like, see? Because like at arm's length, like this is how you'd probably see it in arm's length, and that doesn't look too goofy now, right? So I'm going to fix it over here, and I think that was it. That was the only spot left. It was right there. Oh, maybe a little bit under the fur of the cloak there, or whatever, or his loincloth. George, are Mark III Space Marines being used for any games now? Sure. 40k, you can use them in 40k. You can use them in Horus Heresy. Hail Bob, heyo, Hail Bob. You're joining a little bit late, Hail, but welcome. So we're just going to come in. Yeah, we're going to create some shadow right here. And we're basically going to create separation right here. So right there. Just so that sword doesn't feel too ridiculous hanging out like that. I realize it's a dark band of color there, but these are the old school techniques, when we're dealing with these kind of wonky kind of sculpts. But yeah. So I'm going to come back in over this spot over here. Yeah. Because it's not quite as clean as I want. And that, I'm going to make that disappear right there. There we go. And in fact, I'm going to come in. You probably can't see it what I'm doing. I'm just creating a little bit more dark lining around the boot and behind the boot here. The boot, das Boot. And then right in the hand, so there should be a little bit of darkness there. Just a little bit. Just to separate the hand from that sword pommel. So I'll just go like this. And like so. And like so. Create that impression of a shape there, like his fingers are kind of curling around. And then, yeah, then we're just going to separate the sword hilt from his leg. Oop, shit. Too far. Too far, too much. Oh well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clean this up in time here. Nope. Shit. Damn it. Oh well. I can come in with a little bit of Kislev. But that is it, I think, right? Yeah. I'm kind of happy with that. Kinda. Let's grab a little bit of Kislev flesh once that dries, and we'll just fix up that little leg spot there. We'll just glaze that out. Yeah. Got a little overly aggressive. I didn't have the right angle when I was laying that separation from the sword from the leg. But now you can see how, like, it looks. Now, again, it looks a little wonky like this, right? But at least now that sword feels like it's, separate and, But yeah, that's what we have. That's the kind of shit we had to do back in the day when, trying to get these paint jobs to look somewhat, realism kind of thing going on. Hail Bob, just got home. Thinking of getting Admech and some oil paints to paint in the Blanche-esque style. Feeling inspired and maybe some of the more Necromunda Goliath from the new book and some Escher in Hawk Girl, Hawk Woman scheme. That sounds cool. George, I'm going to a bits and miniature swap meet tomorrow. Cool. Disflux, all the bits. All the bits. All the bits. Yeah, alright. Grabbing a little bit of Kislev flesh just to correct up that mistake. That little bit of a boo-boo. A boo-boo. Oh, and probably going to need Gilliman too. Just to create the shadow again. Anyway, let's grab a little bit of the Kislev. We're not thinning it down much. Just the dampness of the brush, really. And we're just going to see those where the little two dark spots kind of jut down from the shadow. We're just going to fix those right now. Why are we bothering? Because I'm kind of a freak like that. Just like that. In fact, here now I'm pushing the shadowy point here so I get kind of blended in properly. Like that. Give that a second to dry. In actuality, now I've opened up Pandora's box. That highlight should run down that thigh muscle a little bit more like this. Come in from the thigh and then push up like so. Kind of like that. Let that dry, and then I think I might hit that with a little bit of Gilliman just to push the shadowy bit. But I think that's it. All that is left, really, now that I'm just kind of looking at him, all that is left is I just want to finish off his face, do his sword blade, and if you have any ideas, doing because I want to stick with the monochromatic, right? So we're mostly staying within the realm of browns. We could push a little bit towards the yellows, just like we pushed a little bit towards the reds. So I guess realistically, right, if we want to stick within the browns, we're going to push towards the brown, or the blues. Is that what we're going to do for the sword? I think we might, right? But anyway, that is where we're at with this guy. I don't think we're doing our campaign yet, so I actually might be able to hold off and film this and let you guys see, or maybe I'll film it separately in case. I don't know. I haven't spoken to Ash in a bit, so I'm not sure exactly what our plan is. So, but yeah, stay within the browns, but go push towards the blues for the blade, right? So blue brown, blue brown. Oh, and the handle of his sword too, his handle for his sword. It's going to be the same color as the blade, I think. I'll do that kind of blue-brown. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to go. That thigh looks better now. I am going to come in with a little bit of Gilliman Blue. Just send out Gilliman Blue. Frick, I keep saying Gilliman Blue. Gilliman Flesh. Where the frick? There it is. I was about to lose my shit for a second. All right. Just a little bit of Gilliman Flesh. We're just going to push those shadowiness back a little bit. It's all nice and dry now? Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to create a little bit of shadow here. Just a little bit. Just like so. Yep, there we go. That's it. That's all we're doing. Just pushing those shadows back. I think still a little bit of Sigor wet. But that's okay. Because it helps create that separation. Creates a little bit of a blend. And that's it. So, with that, we're going to allow that to dry. I think probably next time we're doing painting projects. I don't know. It all depends on what our timetable is for our gaming, but that is where we're at with this guy. No, we're not going to be painting his nipples or anything, so don't ask. I'm pretty happy with where his nipples are at the moment, which is, obvious, but not too obvious. It's got to be cold wherever he is, right? Anywho, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Let me switch cameras here. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I think I'm going to name this episode Non-Metallic Metal. Yeah, just because, right? Because that's all I did today was paint non-metallic metal effect. Non-metallic metal with contrast. Ugh, there we go. That's the question everybody's been asking, right? Is non-metallic metal with contrast. So that's it. Oh, Disflux. Not going to paint the nipples. Give him nipple rings made out of speaker wire. No, we're not going to. No, we're not doing that. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. Got a Patreon over, where would it be? That way? It's over in that corner, right? It's over there. Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. And if you're considering Patreon support, a huge thank you. There are varying tiers to support at. So, thank you. You guys make these videos possible, and I can continue the work, inspiring, informing, educating, and sometimes entertaining. Sometimes. Of course, there's also t-shirts. Want to help support the cause. Of course, thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that, following, and of course, just like who was it earlier? Jimpa 89. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. So a huge thank you. And yeah, if you guys want to catch these live, I do these Fridays. Trying to stay Fridays, either at noon or probably in the evening, one of the two. I usually put out a Twitter thing saying I'm going to be doing it. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll stay informed. If you follow me on Twitter, you're just going to stay informed with whatever I'm doing. So yeah, and of course join us on Discord as well, because I post on Discord. Is that it? Am I done shilling at the moment? Yeah, I think I'm done shilling. We're done. We're done? No other comments? No? Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. I need to go eat. Maybe that's why I'm also sweaty. I'm getting hungry. Alrighty. Go do something. Take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys later. Yeah, much later. Oh no, Saturday. I gotta see you guys tomorrow. Way of the brush.